Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. So today we will continue with the 15th part, the third part, which is Surah Al-Qariya, which is number 101 of the surahs from the Holy Quran. And we left off at number 4. I'll just read the verses and then we'll go and break down verse by verse. يوم يكون الناس كالفراش المبثوث وتكون الجبال كالإهن المنفوش فأما من ثقلت موازينه فهو في عيشة راضية وأما من خفت موازينه فأمه هاوية وما أدراك ما هي نار حامية. So the first verse today is the verse 5. يوم يكون الناس كالفراش المبثوث. So the translation of this in English is the day when mankind will be scattered, will be like scattered moths. En français, le jour où l'humanité sera comme des papillons dispersés. उर्दू में जिस दिन लोग परगंदा चिड़ियों की तरह हो जाएंगे. So as you can see on the screen, the first word that shows up, Yoma, the day. This is a common word also used in the Holy Quran. Yom, the day, le jour, Urdu में दिन or just din. Yakunu, the second word in Arabic, yakunu, will be translated in English, and en français sera, and Urdu में जाएंगे. Anas or anas, this is also a repetitive word which we cover so many times, but we will continue to cover it. So it's in English is mankind, l'humanité en français, and Urdu में is tarjuma log. And the next word is ka. In English, it's like. En français, comme. Urdu में तरह. The next Arabic word in this ayat is al-farash, which is translated as moths in English, and en français, papillon. And Urdu में Gideon. And the last word in this ayat in Arabic is al-mabthuth, which is translated in English as scattered, en français dispersé, and उर्दू में paraganda. I may not translate all of the words as I don't have them up here, the words in Urdu, but I'll try to do at least the key, some of the key and important words in Urdu. In the commentary, Hazrat Muslim al has said that because it is beyond human mind to conceive of the dreadfulness of the calamity, a few of its horrible effects have been pointed out. This and the next verse gives some idea of the confusion and distress it will cause. The terrific and uh, cataclysmic happening will scatter the people like flakes of carded wool, not finding refuge anywhere. So the description that the Holy Quran gives is this carded wool, and this process of carding of wool is actually when it's being processed, when it's taken off of the sheep. And you know the wool is combined, or it's in all tangled and curly. Carding of the wool is one of the processes which flattens and straightens it out. And here it says that there is even small pieces of this wool. The people will be like that. They won't even be joined. They'll be all scattered. They'll be in little pieces, flakes. That's flakes actually mean very small little pieces, and they will not be joined together like when the wool, when it comes off, even when it comes off of the sheep. It's still together in clumps, but carding actually straightens it and makes it more in pieces and or more refined and easier to sort of separate. So they will people will be like that, that they will be all scattered around, and they will not be finding any refuge anywhere. In the next ayat, ayat 6, وَتَكُونُ الْجِبَالُ كَالْعِهْنِ الْمَنْفُوشِ. And the mountains will be like carded wool. Et les montagnes seront comme de la laine cardée. Or har dunki hui unki unki तरह हो जाएंगे. So in this, even the description we can find in this description, we understand that where Hazrat Muslim just explained that about the carded wool, that these here mentioning about mountains, that they so strong and so firmly set that they will just be in pieces. In They won't have stability. They won't have their weight anymore to keep them in stability. So the breakup of this with the translation is the first word va in English is and, en français et, Urdu में or. Sukunu will be in English, and seront en français जाएंगे en Urdu में. Al-Jibal is mountains in English, and en français montagne, and Urdu में pahar. And ka is like in English, and kam in en français and in Urdu में is tira. Tira. Al-Ihn. Al-Ihn is wool and in French it's la laine, and Urdu में un. So the next and last word here is what was described earlier. Al munshu, sorry, al manshu, sorry, al manfush. This is translated here as carded. The word in français is cardé. So the from the Hazrat Muslim out has given an explanation of the story. Uh, no, that's a little ahead of it. Let's go to the next verse, verse 7. فَأَمَّا مَنْ ثَقُلَتْ مَوَازِينُهُ. Then as for him whose scales are heavy, alors quant à celui dont la balance est lourde, बस वो जिसके वजन जारी होंगे. Translation, the first word in Arabic is fa, translated as then, and en français alors, Urdu में pas. Amma, as for, and in English and Urdu में, or en français quant à. Man is translated in English as who, and en français qui. Sakulat is heavy in English, and lourd en français, and bari Urdu में. Mawazinu is here translated as scales in English, and balance en français, and wazan Urdu में. And the last word is who, which is in English whose, en français dont, Urdu में जिसके. Here the Hazrat Muslim Rizila Tala Anho has written about in the commentary, when used in relation to an individual, mawazin means his works, but when used in relation to a nation, it means its material means and resources. And according to the present day terminology of war, tonnage seems to be an exact rendering of the word. So that word mawazin, which is we just went through, the word which is the weight, or in English, and balance en français, and Urdu is wazn. In the latter sense of the word, the verse would mean that a nation whose material resources or tonnage of steamships or airplanes is heavy with predominate over heavy will predominate over its adversaries, and this fact will add to its prestige and power, and consequently to its happiness. So this is in terms of the materialistic aspect of it, when this commentary is given, which Hazur is mentioning here. But obviously when it relates to an individual, when their scales are heavy, then it means that they will also be happy, meaning that they've done good deeds in this world. The next ayat, فَهُوَ فِي عِيشَةٍ رَاضِيَةٍ. He will have a pleasant life Il jouira d'une vie agréable. तो वो जरूर एक पसंदीदा जिंदगी में होगा. Here the first word is translated fa as so, and en français alors. Um, the, then the next word is hua is here is he. In français is il, he, in English, and en français en, and Urdu में. Isha tin is life, and en français is vie, Urdu में zindagi. Radiyat is pleasant, in English, and en français agréable, and pasandida, uh, Urdu में. In the next ayat, in ayat 9, وَأَمَّا مَنْ خَفَّتْ مَوَازِينُهُ. But as for him whose scales are light, mais quant à celui dont la balance est légère, और जिसके वजन हल्के होंगे. Wa is translated as and or it can be translated in this instance as but in English as well, and in en français it's translated c'est, le traduction en français est mais. Amma as is translated as for in English, and en français quant à. Man, whose in English, and dans en français. Khaffat is light in English, and légère en français, or halke Urdu में. Mawazinu, mawazin is here is the word which we covered in the commentary, and it was a repetition as well as the last ayat, which means this means scale in English. En français, la balance. Urdu में वजन. And who is his in English, and celui en français. Here in the commentary, Hazrat Muslim Maud Razila Talanho has given reference to the ayat which is very similar in chapter 7 verses 10. And I'm going to read that commentary. He said the words whose scales are light mean those whose good deeds are few and evil deeds many. The words zulm, rendered as being unjust to, literally means to put a thing in the wrong place, and is here used to signify that the disbelievers did not treat the signs of God in the manner in which they should have been treated. They were meant to instill fear of God and humility in the minds of the people, but on the contrary, disbelievers became all the more arrogant and insolent, and received the signs of God with mockery and derision. So that is that when your skills are light, when you haven't done much good deeds, and you have more heavier deeds of evil deeds, then um, this is the outcome that you have, as Huzur has explained here, that they are like those people who make a fun of God's signs, and they rejected goodness. The next ayat is ayat 10. فَأُمُّهُ هَاوِيَةٌ. Hell will be his nursing mother. Sa mère sera enfer. To us to uski ma haviya ho hogi. So the translation of this, the word for word translation of this verse is that first fa is translated in English as then, and en français puis, um, and then umu is a mother in English, and mère en français, and here it's been translated in Urdu as ma. Who is his in English, and sa en français. Hawiya, Hawiyatun. This word is translated in English as hell, enfer in en français, and Urdu में is the same. Hawiya, Hawiya are almost the same, just slightly different pronunciation with wa, and in Urdu it's va. Here in the commentary, Hazrat Muslim Anhu has said that Ummu primarily meaning mother has a variety of secondary significations such as source, origin, support, and abode. The verse signifies that the connection of the sinful people with hell will be like that of a baby with its mother. Just as the embryo goes through various stages of development in the womb till it is born as a full-fledged human being, so will the guilty people pass through different stages of spiritual torture till their souls are completely cleansed of the taint of sin, and they will thus receive a new birth. Thus, the punishments of hell are intended to make the wicked repent of their sins and so reform themselves. According to Islamic concept, hell is a penitentiary or a like a hospital. So this is one of the beautiful ayats in the Holy Quran, which it does not compare to any religion in the description of the hereafter when a person is punished and when they go to hell, because its exact description of hell is a place which will nurse, will take care like a mother, a person who is in hell. And when someone is in a penitentiary or in a hospital and they're going through treatment, it is very painful. But the main purpose for going there is for them to cleanse themselves of the evil which is in their heart, or the like any diseases which when a person goes to hospital, any problem that they have to be fixed, and that is when they go to hell is a very painful procedure, which is much more, but it has the aspect blessing that a person will still be given the blessing from God, that God will take care that they can overcome their weaknesses. But it's unfortunate that the person would not try to correct themselves before in this life, and then when they go into the next life, they would be in a stage where they have to suffer extreme anxiety. May Allah save us all from that. Amen. Then the next ayat is ayat 11. وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا هِيَهْ. And what should make thee know what that is? Et qu'est-ce qui te ferait savoir ce qu'est cela? और तुझे क्या समझाए कि ये क्या है. So the translation of the first word in Arabic is va, and this is common, and in English, and a en français, and or Urdu mein. Tujhe, sorry, ma is here is translated in English as what? Qu'est-ce in qu'est-ce que c'est? Um, qu'est-ce en français, and in Urdu mein kya. Adra in English is make known. En français, faire savoir. In Urdu में समझाए. Next word is ka. This is translated as you in English and vous en français. Ma is what again. This again is repeated what in English is the translation, and quel is the translation here, and en français, and then Urdu is kya, and hiya is translated as it is. En français, c'est. Urdu में ये है. And the last verse in the completion of this surah, the verse 12. Narun hamiya. It is a burning fire. C'est un feu brûlant. एक एक भड़कती हुई आग. So basically, this ayat is very short. The first word is nar or narun, is fire in is translated fire in English, and feu en français or feu en français, and og Urdu mein. Hamia is burning, brûlant en français, भड़कती हुई Urdu mein. So that completes this ayat. Sorry, the entire surah. Inshallah ta'ala, we will start with the next surah next week. Jazakumullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.